I think some people thought I was just out here taking selfies, but I'm not. I'm here to shoot a video. But it is really, really bright, so I gotta shield the sun a little bit over me. I'm balancing my phone on a tree branch. Seems to be working. Let's do this. Hey guys, just a quick video on healing from childhood abuse or just abuse anytime. And the question I have asked myself before is, at what point does it stop? What I mean is, at what point do we decide that the pain we went through the cycle needs to stop and turn around so that it is not repeated onto somebody else? Because if you've been abused, you know how to abuse others. Even if you don't act on it, if that's how you were treated, that's something you know how to do. And there's so many different ways to approach this. So let's say if you didn't get to have a childhood or an adolescence, you didn't get to go through those stages of development because you weren't in a healthy environment and you were at this baseline of survival. So you didn't get to experience the normal stages of development you would have gone through if you had been in a stable home environment. Let's say you're an adult now and you have your own children. Well, now it's on you to give your own children the life that you never got, to give them the childhood that you never had. And what that requires of you is to heal and to to kind of put aside your pain and to not act out the way you were treated, but to give them that opportunity that you didn't have. And when you do that, I think that's when things can turn around, and that's how you can heal yourself, is by giving what you didn't get. And it's not easy, because that kind of brings you to face with your own pain and say, hey, I never got this. Why should someone else have it? No one was there for me. Why should I be there for someone else? Why should someone have it easy when I got my ass kicked, literally or verbally or otherwise? And the question again is, when does it stop? When do we decide that enough is enough and we're not going to perpetuate this cycle anymore? Now that applies to whether it's children and raising children, or relationships, of not entering into abusive relationships again. A similar thing applies to other things that we have been taught growing up, that we have internalized, that aren't serving us, that we continue to live out and live by their dictates as we live our lives. So if you were told that you were only worthy of love if you went into certain professions, or you were only worthy of love if you made a lot of money, or if you had a certain level of status, or whatever conditions were placed upon you, and if you keep living that out even after they're gone, they're still running you. That what they taught you is still running your life. So what we got to do is to decide that we are no longer going to put those conditions on ourselves, that we are just fine as we are, that we don't have to meet certain conditions in order to be loved, in order to be worthy, and in order to be deserving of happiness or of love or the life that we really want. So we have to become aware of what these things are, and then consciously choose to not let them run us any longer. It's almost like you have to get kind of fed up and say, I am no longer going to accept that as my truth, and just put a stop to it right then and there. Catch yourself when your mind starts to go there and stop it in the moment. And it's a practice. It's something you gotta practice every time it comes up, and just being aware of your thoughts and aware of your behaviors, and stop that cycle, because we don't have to live that way. How old do we have to be before we finally let go? How old do we have to be? How many decades have to pass before we finally decide to put down the crap that we learned and the painful things that were inflicted upon us? We don't have to keep carrying it around, but it's up to each of us to free ourselves and to heal ourselves. So that is my hope and my encouragement for you this week, is to just watch if that old stuff starts coming up and it starts pushing you back down, don't let it. Talk back to it. You know that that's not what how you have to live your life anymore. All right? I want the best for you. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please like this video if you liked it, and I hope you will share and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you next time.